Hey y'all, it's Megan and Andy. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend the day with us today. I don't know exactly what all we're getting into, but I do know that first thing on the list is we're moving the chickens officially to their winter coop.
For anybody that don't know, that right there was Jacob's garden, but it's also the wintertime chicken coop. I'm gonna put them in there for now, let them clean it up some, and then I'll come back and line it real good with some wood chips. I'll go up to the wood chip pile and I'll line it really good with some deep wood chips and let them scratch around and all that. And those wood chips are what they'll turn into some beautiful dark soil for Jacob to continue growing his garden in.
And I mean, some people consider this method the
Deep
bedding method. So what we'll do, we won't just add wood chips one time. I think last year, 3 or 4 times you put some in there?
Yeah, you have to.
Like once they start thinning out or you start noticing a smell, it's time for more wood chips, right?
Yeah. Well, doing them this way, which now we've got less chickens this go around than we had last year, don't we?
Maybe like 1 or 2 less.
Oh, I was thinking it was more than that. Anyways, but doing them this way, you don't get no smell, you don't have no mud, you don't have anything like that. But you got to keep the wood chips in there.
And
so if you don't have an abundance of wood chips, you have to use something else like straw or hay or something.
I'm assuming they can dig down in them wood chips as they're breaking down and find the little bugs.
Absolutely, yeah.
That get in there too, because they're all time scratching once we put them in here.
Absolutely.
But see, there's rotten tomatoes. There's all kind of stuff in there. For green bean plants that for whatever reason didn't get frosted on.
Well, you know, a lot of the stuff, we've had 2 good frosts, and there's a lot of things that ain't got bit yet. I don't understand it, but it is kind of crazy. So I have these latches here that hold this big door open. If I can get that one open, there we go. And this should swing open. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been several months. But this
Lord,
is...
I hope I don't break it.
I hope you don't either. This is easier on us, too. So it works smarter, not harder, than having to move these chickens around the pasture when the grass ain't even growing, so it don't even matter. And this worked out so well last year, didn't it?
It did. And like you said, we're not getting anything out of them right now anyways. I mean, if we were smart, we would probably do away with these chickens and get new ones. But
somebody mentioned in the spring that we probably should get new chickens.
Who that might be? You. Well, I keep thinking that my chickens ain't gonna give up on me and they're gonna lay me an egg, and one of these days I'm gonna come out here and find me a nice big old egg.
Oh, they will. They're just like I said, they're all molting right now, so it'll be back. Maybe.
Luckily, y'all, we have 2 neighbors here that have an abundance of eggs.
They have lots and lots of chickens.
Like you heard us say in the other video, we traded peppers for eggs to one of them, and he gave us a whole pile of eggs. So right now at the moment, we are not lacking in eggs. And then we have another neighbor just over the hill here who has like 100 chickens running around. And he sells eggs too.
Yeah, he ain't lacking on eggs.
I am not worried about that. To be honest with you, kind of makes a man think, do I even really need chickens when you've got neighbors around that have that many eggs?
I like the chickens.
I know you do. I guess they're all right.
They don't eat much when you ain't got 100 of them to feed.
That's exactly right. Of course, if we still had...
Because at one time we had that many. Or close to it.
If we still had 100 chickens, we'd probably still getting eggs right now. But we'd be feeding out the yin-yang.
At one time, back when we had the most chickens we ever had, I was feeding 50 pounds a day.
It was ridiculous.
50 pounds of chicken feed, that's a lot. I mean, you got to sell a lot of eggs to justify that.
Yeah, and you got to sell them for a high dollar price, too, to justify that. So, that's ready. We're going to put them in there just like that.
Oh, yeah, they'll take care of it. It'll be all right.
They'll clean it up. I'm going to say, what do you think, a week?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
a week or 2. It ain't many of them, so.
Yeah, I say about a week's time, we'll be adding wood chips. But for now, I'm just going to let them pick at what green's left in there and tear it up, see what we get. I'll probably even get in there after they've cleaned this up. I'll get in here and pull all these vines down and let them have the seeds off of them too, because there's a ton of morning glory seeds here. They'll probably eat that. So anyways, let's move them out here.
All right.
But what this means is we ain't got to fool with this netting no more this winter.
Yep. This is Andy's favorite.
Absolutely.
You're so much faster than me.
The other nice thing about the location of our wintertime coop here is the fact that it's really close to a water hose. So we can easily fill up these waters in the wintertime with just a 5-gallon bucket. We don't have to worry about having a water hose thawed out or whatever. I can go down there, fill up a 5-gallon bucket, dump it in one of these, and be good with it. Back in the days when we had a ton of chickens, we didn't have no wintertime coop. And the one thing we noticed with that setup was keeping them out here on the grass where the grass isn't growing back. They would decimate a spot of grass in a matter of like a week.
Well, look back here. Right here, I'll show you a spot that's been 2 years ago. We left chickens. That dead spot right there.
Oh, yeah.
Down there and right there?
Right there.
Yep.
We went to the beach during that time, didn't we? And
yeah, but we wasn't gone but a week.
Yeah, we didn't move them for about like a week.
Yeah.
And when we come back, this was just destroyed. And
it still ain't recovered.
That's what I was going to say is chickens are a funny thing. Chickens can help out your grass, but they can also destroy it. If you let it go too far, like she said, it doesn't recover. Like that's been that way forever, and it's terrible.
And the meat chickens are the same way. If you don't move them meat chickens, they'll kill the grass.
Absolutely.
And these chickens will too. I mean, you can see, but this will recover, but it's time for them to go. See?
Yeah, like they've wore that out pretty good, but that's not to the point that it won't come back.
Yeah.
So what we have learned during our years of having chickens is not necessarily the netting needs to be moved, but the house itself, wherever they go to stay the night, where they're in there roosting, that needs to be moved at least once a day or once every other day.
We move this one every day.
That one gets moved every morning right before we open the door. And it spreads out their manure really good to the point that it fertilizes and it doesn't burn it up. When we had the big egg mobile down there running, right there, that thing was so big and awkward to move, you'd have to drive something out here to move it, and so it made it such a hard chore. We moved it like once a week, and that was a terrible mistake because you'd have a dead spot. And it would take months for that grass to come back from that dead spot.
And I'm going to throw in one more thing, too, about these pasture-raised chickens. And, of course, we raise the pasture-raised eggs. We do it to help our pasture, you know, and for the health of the chickens. I mean, I've never had issues with disease or worms or anything with my chickens doing them this way. But also, on the bad side of having chickens out is they dig holes. There's holes all in that. You can't see it, but all in that dead spot. It ain't level. And you can see right here, they started to dig one right there.
If they find some soft ground.
This is from other chickens. They didn't start this.
What, that right there?
This uneven. This is from other chickens
that
in
was
years
dug out by
past.
chickens.
And there's nothing wrong with pasture-raised chickens. You can tell a difference in the eggs, but don't think you're going to stick them out there for 2 weeks and never touch them, and they do you some good.
You have to move them.
You have to move them, and we kind of had to learn the hard way, and we had to learn the hard way that, in all honesty, we couldn't sell enough eggs to make it justified to have that big house and the work that it took to move it and to feed all them chickens and all that, and that's why we only have what we have now.
And, you know, that's a good point, Megan. That moving that big house would be like, because we were working full time, you know, we weren't here during the week to move it. We were here in the evenings to take care of everything, but we just didn't have time every evening when we got home to move everything. So that would be like our Saturday morning chore.
And
would
it would
be
take
moving
us, what,
that tractor.
30 minutes?
Huh?
It takes about 30 minutes.
Yeah, we finally got it down to a science, and the fastest we ever got was 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Tiger.
I will say.
Hang on. Don't
Tiger.
fret them.
But when you get out there on a Saturday morning and you've been working all week long, there's 50 other things you'd rather be doing on that Saturday morning or need to be doing. Not only want to be doing, there's 50 other things you need to be doing besides moving that darn chicken egg mobile. We just couldn't find it justifiable.
I added it up.
To raise that many chickens and trying to sell eggs. It just did not pay off.
And I added it up one time, and I counted in our time, because that's one thing that I think people cut themselves short, is your time is worth something.
Yeah.
And so when I added in our time, we were losing money selling eggs.
Yeah.
And so we said,
Easily.
we said, you know what? We're just going to have enough chickens just to get us by. And
if we have excess at that point, maybe we could sell a dozen or two to some neighbors, but we honestly haven't had excess since we cut down.
We eat a lot of eggs. So.
We do. We eat a lot of eggs.
But except for right now in this winter, these, how many I got in there? 8 or 9. These 8 or 9 chickens have done us just fine. Except for right now.
But now that brings up one other point too. If you're a person who's selling things at a farmer's market, I could see eggs being the total opposite for you, because eggs is kind of like a store having gas. The eggs, people come there to buy your eggs, but then they buy other products from you as well. And it's just like a store having gas. If you've got a store that don't have gas, well, people's not going to stop there because they can't get their gas and a drink and all this at the same place.
Well,
we were not those people. We were the people who were selling stuff straight off the farm.
Yeah, because farmers markets, they're great if that's your thing, but that's just not our thing. Like well,
not only that, we don't have a big farmers market close to us.
I would have to drive at least an hour to get to a decent one to sell the stuff. So then again, there comes your time.
Exactly.
And time to sit there and time to, so if I had, like Andy just said, maybe if we had more to sell, a farmer's market would have been worth the drive back then. But selling produce and eggs, you go broke real quick.
But all of that to say, if you raise your chickens on pasture, be sure that you keep these things moving, because if not, you will have a mess and you will destroy your pastures instead of helping it. Since we've scaled down to this right here though, I have actually seen an improvement in where they've been, because it's not enough chickens to tear up anything.
It's actually helping now.
It's actually helping now. But back then when we had like 75 chickens, we were doing more harm than we were doing good by having them out here on pasture.
That's part of what killed this pasture right here.
It's took forever to get it back to what it should be.
Yeah,
because we kept our chickens for the most part in this pasture. We'd move them out there some.
But that thing was so hard to move, we didn't.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. Now maybe we could have figured out a better situation and done better with it, but I can tell you right now that me and her both are a whole lot happier now that we've scaled back to this.
Yeah.
And done away with that.
I don't think the chickens are very happy right now. They say, "What are y'all doing?"
I know, they're like, "Why ain't we out yet?
Why are you standing there talking?"
Let's get it out of here.
Yeah. All right, I'll push.
I might can just pull pretty easy.
No, you got to go up that hill, though. You know how this thing is.
And see, this right here is so much easier to move that even if I'm not available or if I'm at work or whatever, Meagan can move it 5 foot on her own like it's nothing.
I mean, you've got it, the way you made this thing, it's balanced pretty well.
And that was the thing with that big egg mobile. It only needed to be moved like 10 foot, but you'd have to pull a tractor or the Kubota in there just to move it.
Yeah, it was an act of Congress to move that thing.
I think I'm going to pull it in, so this will be up front.
Okay, then we'll just back it out.
Yeah. So don't let our words of our experience there discourage you if you think you can sell chicken eggs and make a go at it, because you probably could have a whole lot different situation. You might have a totally different market around you.
But if you're in our shoes, don't feel bad about it either.
Yeah, exactly. If you're in the position we are, don't feel bad about it if you can't make a go at it, because we tried. And I didn't feel so bad about hearing about the chickens destroying our pasture either, because I was watching Just a Few Acres Farm one time, and he's got one dedicated pasture that he runs chickens in, because he talked about how bad chickens will tear your pasture up.
Well, I don't feel like people address that enough, because I felt like I didn't realize that. Like,
well, I didn't either, because everybody made us think the chickens was going to make our pastures glorious, and they can.
If you do it right.
With the right management.
Yeah.
But that's the part nobody talks about, is how much things have to move.
And how much work it is on the backside. That
Yeah.
Especially with the big house. This one ain't that bad.
This one's easy.
Yeah.
This was the best thing we ever done.
Yes.
Was build that.
What do we call them? Dirt?
Dirt. Will it squeeze shut? That one did.
Pinch my finger.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
So then, we don't have, we only open this if Andy needs to get in there with the tractor, or we need to get the house out, and then we have our little
walk-in door.
Yeah. So this was made just so we could use the same mobile chicken coop, and the tractor would be easy to put wood chips in with. Let me put the...
I bet you this thing don't line up no more, does it?
It didn't hardly line up last year.
I'm gonna have to get in here and move it. That ain't gonna work. The wood warped. I need another one of them latches right there. I think I got one. I'll go get it and put it on there. Those kind of latches will work if things
Yeah,
move.
because see, the kids can't...
Kids can't get in and out of it.
And they usually, once the chickens are up here, this is like, the kids, this is their job.
So, every time we've dealt with this coop right here, people say, how do you keep the hawks out of it? Because there is no wire top up there. There's nothing up there. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know. But we don't have a problem with hawks here. Well, out here in the pasture, we don't have a problem with hawks. I think the guinea helps with a lot of that.
And I've also heard black chickens, and we've got 2 black chickens.
Well, black chickens, the hawks mistake them for a crow.
And see, the crows...
And we have a ton of crows around here.
We have a hawks too. I see them and I hear them, but knock on wood,
we've never had a problem.
No, in all the years, all the years we've raised chickens, it ain't never been an issue.
And then people ask, well, how do you keep coons and everything else from getting them? And that's a simple question. We treat this just like we do when it's out in the pasture. Every night when the chickens go up, we come out here and shut the door. Once they're in that coop with the door shut, it would be almost impossible for something to get in there and get them. Mm-hmm. Because on this, there is no electric fence protecting them like it is out here in the pasture. And to show you some proximity here, we are right beside the house. Here's the coop.
Works out perfect.
There's the house. And I think between the dog and cats we got running around, predators just don't bother things in this general area. Now, that could all change. I could wake up in the morning.
We have had issues with raccoons. Like, we had to learn.
But they were more out here.
And they weren't in the electric netting.
And they weren't in the electric netting at that time.
It was meat chickens. Oh, and there was a big brush pile out there, and the coons lived in it.
That's right, yes.
I was fixing to go to work, and it was
what time of morning was that?
It was like 5 or 5:30 in the morning, and I heard the meat chickens out here in the pasture, and they were making...
Like right in here.
Yeah, it's been several years ago now, but they were... Well, no, they were down there next to... They were...
That's right, because we used to have the brush pile over
there
the knoll.
There was a big brush pile in the
right
middle of the pasture. And so I heard them making a racket, and I said, that's weird that they're making a racket and it's still dark out here this morning. So I grabbed a flashlight and shined it down here, and I said, something's after them chickens. I seen them in there scrambling, you know. I could see them from up on the porch. And so I run in the house, and I said, Andy, where in the world did you put the shotgun shells? I couldn't find them. And he said, he was still asleep, not a morning person over there. I'm not either, but I was awake. I
got up early, but I wasn't quite as early riser as you were.
Yeah, and so he just kind of rolled over and grunted a little bit, and I said, oh, that's fine. I knew where my bullets were for my .270, my deer rifle, and I come out here and I shined that light, and I seen that coon stick his head up, and I went, boom! 5:30 in the morning, Andy come running out in his pajamas. He said, what are you doing? I killed that raccoon too.
I know you did.
I guess that's the last time we probably had issues with them. Maybe they went and told their friends.
Let me tell you something. You don't mess with Meagan. She'll shoot you.
Don't mess with my critters, especially.
Yeah, that's all right. She's more protective over these critters than she is us, probably. Anyways, yeah, that was a funny story from way back in the day. If I'm not mistaken, I think that might have been the first batch of meat chickens we ever had.
I can't remember. That's been several years ago now.
That would have had, if that was the case, that would have been about 2019.
I'm sure it echoed up the holler and everything. Probably
Oh,
woke
yeah.
everybody up. Because that 270 loud when it's quiet outside. These chickens are having a time. Look at them scratching in that beautiful black dirt.
I'm sure they are.
Look over them because they are molting. They look like they got the mange. Some of them.
Oh, they'll be enjoying themselves. You know what? They might decide to give us an egg or two after getting in there and scratching.
Well, they might. See, they like they got them tomatoes. They got soft dirt. They'll eat them green plants too.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to go put my sleeves back on.
Yeah, the sun's went under. It's got cool.
What do you want me to do about this door?
I'm gonna fix it here.
The wind will blow it open if I don't.
Looks like the sun might try to come out here after a while, but y'all, it has rained and rained and rained, and it was a blessing. I am so happy that it rained.
I was gonna say, we're not complaining about it.
Absolutely not. I am not complaining. As a matter of fact, I wish it was still raining today. But we've had close to 2 inches of rain so far, and I guess that's about all we're gonna get. From the looks of it, I think it's about over with, but I'm gonna tell you what, that was a much needed 2 inches of rain. So, anyways, one last time, please don't let what we just said discourage you from having egg chickens and thinking you're gonna make a go at it, because you might.
You might have it's a totally different market than we have 30 miles from here.
Exactly.
So.
I know people right now who are within 30 miles of us who say eggs is their most profitable thing on the farm. Mm-hmm. But they have a totally different market than we do. And so, and they're willing to go to farmers markets and hit those high dollar markets. We weren't going to do that because we wanted to be home on the weekends because we were at work all week long. And that's just the plain simple fact of it. That was a point where we decided we had to draw the line and say, no, we ain't going to hit farmers markets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we wanted to be home on the weekends.
Yeah.
And so we just sold off the farm. While we did pretty good at selling eggs, like you could get rid of them, they just weren't profitable.
Yeah. We were putting ourselves in the hole having that many chickens.
Yeah. So here we are now with 8 chickens that give us no eggs, but I'm going to tell you, I'm a whole lot happier with 8 chickens that give us no eggs than I was with 75 that give us a whole basket full every day.
Every day. I used to get, wasn't nothing for me to get 3 or 4 dozen a day.
And so just keep that in mind. There's my words for today. Less is more sometimes.
Absolutely. I figured that out with a whole lot of stuff in life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I scrounged around out here in the building, found me one of these latches I was talking about. I typically buy stuff like this in bulk. So we went to one of those repurposed stores, like, you know, that gets all the used, well, not used, but the building materials that get sent back and stuff like that. You know, they have all the doors and stuff that people have ordered and for some reason sent back, where you can buy that stuff really cheap. We went there last winter, and I come out with like a 5-gallon bucket full of hinges, latches, and stuff like that. You just simply never know when you're going to need stuff like that, and it was dirt cheap. Like, I bought all that stuff in that 5-gallon bucket for like, I don't remember now, but it was cheap. I mean, like, dirt cheap. So, I've probably got enough hinges and latches to last me a lifetime, which that's not a bad thing to have. But anyways, I kind of like having a stock of stuff like that because it makes your life a whole lot simpler. When you live 20 or 30 minutes from the closest hardware store, well, you know, that takes a lot of time out of your day. And if you can have that stuff just laying around, hey, by all means do it. Because you save a lot of time by doing that. Now, the hard part is keeping up with it. I have a problem bad of putting stuff up and not knowing what I've done with it. But anyways, I'm going to put this latch on here, and then we should be good. I think I'm going to put it like right here where it's good level for the kids. These things are super simple. Watch me have a problem with it now after saying that. There we go. Megan tried to tell me this is the kind of latch I should have put on this door from the get-go. But of course, me being the hard-headed kind, I totally ignored what Meagan said and done what Andy wanted to do. Because a latch like this is forgiving when stuff moves. So see, that one don't line up anymore. However, it lined up perfect when I first put the door on here. And I could just easily pull them screws out and fix it to where it does line up. But this one will work better anyways, I think. Show you something else that's the handiest thing in the world. These little Nip-X pliers. Keep them in my pocket every day. They go with me everywhere just like my pocket knife. I'm pretty sure we have a link to these on our website. But I'm telling you, like, these things are some lifesavers. And these Nip-X brand grip things so good. I've used them for things that it would take a big pair of pliers of any other brand to do. There we go. So there it is. Simple enough, the youngins can do it. I love this time of year. The sun shining on the mountain out yonder. It's just a pretty time of year. And a picture perfect dog. Oh, I just seen those nets out there. I guess I need to take those and put them up too before they lay there and get stepped on. These Premier One nets come with a string that's wrapped around them when you buy them. However, that one we had has since been long gone. So this is another good use for old baling twine. I'll be quite honest with you, I don't think it matters how good you roll these things up and how good you put them away. When we get them out next spring, they're going to be a pain to get untangled. It never fails. Well, until it's needed next spring, that netting's going to live right there. We got 3 bundles of netting right there that, I mean, we'll probably use them at some point. But lately, we just hadn't had a whole lot of use for netting. The way we do everything now. We used to use them netting for our goats. We used to raise a batch of meat turkeys. And we used to have netting for the chickens. And we don't have goats and we don't do turkeys anymore. Well, at least we hadn't done turkeys lately. We may eventually raise another batch of Thanksgiving turkeys, but we haven't done that the past 2 years. So we got a little bit of excess netting, which is not a bad thing because the netting that I use down there around the creek garden, is getting pretty rough shape. So that may be where that netting right there ends up next year. But anyways, the sun's trying its best to shine. But I need to go change oil in this Tahoe right here before it gets too pretty out here, because I got a bunch of other things I'd like to get done today. We'll go change oil in the Tahoe while everything's still wet. And I guess we will catch back up with y'all later this evening. Amazing what cleaning one up to do.
Yeah, it looks good. Well, I figure since we've had 2 or 3 frosts and this basil ain't got bit yet, that I'd come out here and save me some, which I've been meaning to do, but hadn't got around to it just yet. So, I'm gonna cut me some of this out and hang it up to dry. And I can use it for seasoning food or to make teas. It's excellent if you have a cold and you put it in some tea because it's so strong. I can pick them just like that right there. My parsley about got smothered out, but I'm gonna actually go ahead and just cut that too. That's all the parsley I've got left. I can hang that up too, have me a little dried parsley anyway. And I try to do this every year. Whether I get time to do it is a different story. I love the smell of fresh herbs. Now my sage and my thyme, they'll be fine. They have survived multiple winters. So I'm not worried about picking those. They just kind of stopped growing in the wintertime, but I hadn't had any killed yet, so I just let it do its thing. I only come out here and harvest that when I need some. And I'm just using some good old handy dandy hay string. It does the job. All right, there is that bundle. I won't need no whole lot to hang that up. I'll probably hang this maybe on my porch for now. Sometimes I hang it in the house, sometimes on the porch. I tried it in the greenhouse last year. It did not work out. The greenhouse fried it, so I won't be doing that again. But we live and learn, right? Yeah, my poor old parsley. It just didn't stand a chance. There we go. Parsley. And the last thing I want to cut before the frost kills it is some comfrey. Dried comfrey is the easiest to infuse with oil and make salves with, so that's a good wintertime project. So I'm gonna get me some of this too. Comfrey's pretty simple and it don't take a whole lot of it. But comfrey salve is good for 1,000,001 things, and I like to make some here and there and yonder. Also makes good Christmas gifts. So, y'all know I'm all about making some Christmas presents. And that should be plenty. Out of all this comfrey we got growing around here, that's about all I need. I'm gonna try to hang these on nails that are already here. So we're gonna see how this works out. At least for a few days. It won't take them long outside though, not the way the wind's blowing and everything else. Let's see, let me hang it on this one. There's that one. My little bunch of parsley. Poor little thing. I don't think that'll be in Andy's way too bad. It'll keep the bugs off of him. I think that'll work till they start drying for a few days. Belle doesn't care how much green grass she has. Hay is her favorite. Never seen a cow quite like that.
So I guess I'm just gonna unroll it out here. I'll put the roll up here somewhere and we'll just let it roll. I hope I got it turned the right way. It ain't as easy to unroll out here.
We'll see. It ain't coming apart.
There it goes.
There it goes. Nope, they quit again.
Got to that rotten spot on the bottom. There it goes.
Is her that excited? There they go. They get so excited about anything. I mean, you can look at them till they ain't starving.
So Megan, this is a test run. I'm gonna see if they eat this up good enough that the grass will come back through it. I know they ain't gonna eat it all, because they never do when you unroll one. But if they'll eat it up good enough that the grass will grow back through it, we may do it, you know, a couple more times before we move them off of this spot. The reason I'm doing this is because where this is the last move of the season, I want to hold them over as long as I possibly can. And if that means putting a bale of hay out, well, that's just what it means. I figure they'll be here. I think I'll try to keep them here for another 3 or 4 days anyways. And so if they don't eat it up, I'm not going to do it again.
Hey, baby. Hey, babies.
But they eating it pretty good right now, ain't they?
Yeah.
This one right here is the new guy that we just added to the herd. I got him from Meagan's brother. He's a little steer. He should be ready to go to the processor probably by the end of summer next year. So hopefully we can take him and the other steer we got over at the neighbor's place at the same time. Fairly gentle. He's not quite as gentle as the others, but he ain't got quite used to us yet either.
He's not like this.
Nah, I don't think you want them all like that right there.
There she comes.
She's rotten.
I had to show her who the boss was when she was little, because they could be dangerous if they're that gentle. But
well, she was a bottle baby.
Yeah.
She did get a little bit more pushy than she should have.
It's all right. Ain't nothing a 2x4 or back stick didn't fix.
Now, Meagan.
Well, they're a lot bigger than I am.
Yeah.
Bill ain't gonna let you talk to her.
I know.
She said no.
She won't have nothing to do with me. Don't you think that sounds like a decent plan? And see, unrolling this hay on this, well, you know, just like that up yonder, whatever's left will rot out and help build up build the land up. But like I said, if they don't eat it up enough that it don't, you know, that it'll smother that grass out, I ain't doing it again. Not out here anyways, because this is the best grass we got.
And our other 3 calves, they're doing good over the neighbor's place. We'll probably bring them back home about December.
Yep.
And so then we'll have 5, 6, 7, 8 here.
Once they get back here, I imagine will be when we pin everybody up. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I'm hoping, and this is just a goal, I don't know whether we'll do it or not, but I'm hoping that I can hold these cows off long enough that by the time we bring those cows back, we'll put everybody in the pen together, and then the pasture rotation will be done till spring.
Till spring, yeah. That's the plan.
Now, I'm surprised they're eating this hay like they are. As much green grass is out here. I was a little skeptical about unrolling a roll.
They're a little funny about their grass, though.
They love hay.
I know, but I'm saying, like, these long spots, if they ain't eat it by now, they probably ain't gonna eat it.
No, they ain't gonna eat it.
I guess they ain't got that hungry yet.
No, these cows right here, you know, you got to leave them somewhere a long time before they'll actually graze it down to the dirt. They pretty good.
Yeah.
She sure does look a whole lot better now.
Yeah. My sweet girl. My sweet girl. Oh, my goodness. Well, these milk cows, I mean, somebody may look at her and say, she looks terrible. Her ribs are showing.
And we had a comment here not long ago saying that the cow was poor looking.
But she's a Jersey. Actually, she looks real good.
Yeah. Now,
to be a Jersey.
Belle, on the other hand, is fat to be a Jersey.
She's obese.
Yeah, she shouldn't be that big. But I think Candy's about perfect right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Belle's fat.
Because on these milk cows, it's normal to see them back hip bones, and it's normal to see somewhat of their backbones.
Them 2 or 3 ribs right there, too.
And them 2 or 3 ribs.
Yep.
Beef cow now, if a beef cow looks like that,
you got issues.
You got problems.
Yeah.
You better be throwing some feed to that
that's
thing.
the difference, and people just don't know.
Yeah, most people's around beef cows, they ain't around dairy cows.
Yeah.
Well, your herd looks pretty good.
Well, I got a good man taking care of them. I just baby them to death. Point and tell you what to do.
I don't know about all that.
But anyways, guys, guess that's going to about wrap up today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I hope you might have learned a little something. And anyways, till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye, babies.
I could sit out here and just watch them. Especially with the leaves in the background.
I love to listen to cows eat anyway. I love to listen to cows eat.
It's a pretty picture across there with the cows eating hay, and you got the pretty fall colors back there behind them.
Yep. Candy said, I don't want to talk to him.
I know. Neither one of these cows right here care nothing about me. I love for a cow to have something to eat on all the time, though. That's why I wanted to put a bale of hay. I knew the grass was starting to get a little bit low.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put a bale in here just so they can, because it's good for a cow to have something to chew.
Well, Lord, yeah.